SMT Nation, we back. Nation, today I want to talk Verizon 5G Home Internet and T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. And the reason why is I think there are some things that I want to make some predictions on, but I want to kind of look at it from a couple of different perspectives. One is potential for price increases. And number two is performance. All right, so let's talk about those things. Let's talk about the services as they stand today. And we'll look at like the performance to value ratio and what I think is going to happen in the future with respect to those elements. And I don't know, like I said, maybe some predictions, and we'll see if they play out in the future. Who knows, maybe you come back to this video and drop me a comment. Tell me how wrong I am or how right I am. All right, so link for the article from cnet.com will be in the description for you guys to follow along to, and you could check out this chart. Also in the description is the real SMT Buy Me Coffee link. Want to keep the SMT caffeinated and motivated? Show your support for all the content here on the channel. Buy us a coffee. Also, you can't beat the current offer from Mint Mobile, our partner. Get the unlimited plan, normally $30 per month. You can get it for $15 per month. All right, the SMT Nation has spoken loud and clear. They love this deal. It's very popular. Take advantage of this offer. Get that great value, their legendary customer care. Just use our partner link. It's in the description. mintmobile.com/sneed. All right, so let's take a quick look at the overview of Verizon and T-Mobile with respect to their fixed wireless access 5G home internet plans. So Verizon 5G home actually has two options. They have the regular 5G home, which comes in at $50 a month, $25 if you have a qualifying wireless service plan with them. And of course, that nice little discount really improves the value proposition. They also offer a 5G Home Plus, which costs $70 per month, but it's $35 with that same discount if you have the wireless service. So, of course, as a standalone service, you look at $70 per month for the Plus, $50 for the regular 5G Home. Those aren't bad prices, right? Most people are paying $80 per month on average for wireline service, right? So cable, coaxial, DSL, or fiber. Okay, now without looking at the performance comparisons between those options, just looking at the pricing, it's fine. When you add that bundle in wireless, the value is very good. All right, they don't charge equipment fees. And of course, when you look at the performance, the expectation is somewhere between 85 and 300 megabits downlink for the 5G home. You get kind of an upgraded potential throughput on the Home Plus, where you can expect a faster service. So that's I think a big enough difference to maybe want to upsell someone to go from the $25 to $35. Not that much money, right? $10 price increase really could offer you some more throughput. So if the download throughput really matters, it's definitely notable. Now, when you look at the uplink speeds, the 5G home, in my experience, I've been getting about 20 to 25 megabits per second. It says here expect about 10 megabit uplink. So I'm not sure where they come up with that number. Maybe just to count for the fluctuations throughout the day, maybe. For the Home Plus option, they say expect around 50 megabits upload. I haven't tried it. Maybe I will one of these days, and we'll see what happens. All right, but those are your Verizon options. Now with T-Mobile Home Internet, it's important to note that the one separating factor here is that T-Mobile Home Internet does not have a QoS or a dedicated QCI, which means the standard of service, the expected service can really fluctuate. Verizon, whether you get the 5G Home or the 5G Home Plus, is more likely to give you a consistent expectation of service. A QoS or quality of service indicates that they are trying to meet a certain standard. T-Mobile, on the other hand, does not really have that. You're going to see peaks and you're going to see troughs. You're going to see really deep lows at times of congestion. The T-Mobile Home Internet, service, if the mobile network becomes, congested for whatever reason, let's say you live near a carnival, let's say you live near, a concert venue, you may see a precipitous fall in throughput because T-Mobile doesn't have that. They literally sell excess capacity of the network. So there is that concern. Now, typically, people who have kept it long term have been satisfied. According to this article, 72 to 245 megabits downlink, 15 to 31 megabits uplink is a fair expectation. I'd say more people, they typically see, several hundreds of megabits per second as long as they're near an N41 tower. It's been modernized. They got high capacity circuits. So it's been pretty good for people. But there is that possibility that it happens. Now, with respect to the pricing, $50 per month with auto pay, and then $30 a month if you're on one of their premium unlimited plans. And I know Magenta MAX customers qualified for this, and now with the Go 5G Plus, that kind of gets you there as well. No equipment fees, right? So that's kind of the performance and pricing difference between the plans and the offers. Just on this, right? Just the things we covered based on this, any of them could work for you. And of course, sometimes one or the other is available to you based on location. Sometimes both are. So it kind of gives you options. If you're sick of your cable coaxial provider, sick of DSL or satellite, these are probably better options, right? It is hard to beat the performance, of fiber. The 5G home is really tough to compete with fiber, in my estimation. Now let's take a look at some other elements here. No data caps on either service, no equipment fees, no contracts. But here's something that's important, and this is where my prediction comes in. Verizon 5G Home is a price guarantee for 2 years, right? They leave that window of opportunity for possibly raising your price in 2 years. And then for the 5G Home Plus, the price guarantee is for 3 years, all right? So again, like I said, it's leaving the opportunity that the pricing is going to go up. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. I do think Verizon is going to increase the pricing on customers after those 2 years and 3 years. And there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, they have a track record of raising prices on customers. We saw them raise pricing on legacy plans twice in the last year, right? And we're talking about wireless plans, but it can definitely translate into 5G home. I think that's in play, and I also think the fact that they're investing so much money into the network build, they kind of have to, right? The dedicated capex of spending $40 billion on C-band spectrum, upgrading all these tower sites, building small cells, upgrading fiber circuits to 10 gig fiber, building out their wireline network, their infrastructure, the cost of operations, excellent engineering teams, all these resources, they're going to make a better product. It's going to improve over time. So they're going to just basically have to push that cost onto the consumer. Now, it's not all bad, and here's why. If Verizon was to increase the cost, which I think they're going to do, I've made that very clear, the cost likely will be something like a 10% increase. Like, you're not going to see your bill double. I don't think that's going to happen. But at a $50 price point, you might see it go to $60. I think that's very realistic, right? So maybe a 10 or a 20% increase. Same thing with the Verizon 5G Home Plus, right? It's coming in at $70. That one's going to be tougher to sell because if that one goes up to say $80, now they've put themselves in a position to be the same cost as a wireline option, which in that case, it's like, what's the point? A person can get a more dedicated wireline connection from cable or something. That's going to be better, right, from a performance standpoint. So that one's going to be a tough sell, right? Maybe they leave that one alone. Maybe they just raise the Verizon 5G Home. Maybe they raise the pricing on the 5G Home Plus to $75. I don't know, but that will kind of impact the potential and uptake. But I do think after that 2 or 3 years, I think the pricing goes up. Now, like I said, the dedication to improving the network and making it better might make it worth it. I know for the most part, most customers, and I mean this like a majority of customers, are willing to pay for things that are good. As a business owner operator myself, as someone who has been following these markets, we look at the upsell customers are taking to premium plans. A lot of customers that leave AT&T and Verizon have gone to T-Mobile for the value on the upsell of their premium plans. We've seen that play out. There are customers who want the cheapest plan. There are customers who don't mind paying for the premium plan as long as they're getting more value and getting an improved service. So it's quite possible that we see price increases to the Verizon plans here, but we see the network continue to improve. Maybe they justify the price increase by offering increased downlink throughput, increased uplink throughput, right? A higher, expectation of service. And then it makes it worth it, right? Maybe the latencies improve. Maybe they're, at that point we're talking about standalone 5G networking. The network slicing piece allows them to enhance the services. Maybe there's a gaming feature, right, for dedicated latencies and promised latencies, right, and those types of things. And of course, with the gateways, maybe those continue to improve and we start to see better performance. Then I'd say that the price increases were justified. Now, this is from the Verizon angle. When I look at what T-Mobile is doing, it says for as long as you remain a customer. They're not going to raise prices, right? They say that it's the same cost you have for life, all right? We'll see if that holds true. We've seen them backtrack on some of that. We've seen them add fees. We've seen them do some other things. And I'm not going to speculate too much on that. But the T-Mobile home internet, I have a little bit more concern about. I'm not so sure it's going to be easy for them to monetize, in terms of a price increase without getting some pushback. I think because, they've made themselves as the more affordable carrier, the customer-friendly carrier, a price increase is very difficult for them to do. It would take some finessing. It would take some massaging and programming or coding to the consumer. But I think the T-Mobile home internet is the one that stands to improve the most with respect to QoS, a dedicated QCI. T-Mobile makes it very clear. If you're going to use our home internet, just know, you're going to be slowed down at times of congestion. You're getting a more dedicated, guaranteed service from Verizon. So that's my concern. If T-Mobile overgrows, if they, customers' usage continues to increase with respect to the mobile network, does that cause a degradation of the T-Mobile home internet service? So even a price increase might not be justified. They couldn't say we can give you better, or something like that. But I do think at some point, and this is another prediction, T-Mobile home internet is going to have to offer a new tier. Right? Keep this basic one and do kind of a premium tier for their premium customers where they might be willing to pay more. But get more. Right? So getting a QCI, getting a QoS, guaranteed speeds, even through heavy network usage. Obviously, T-Mobile doesn't own their own fiber wireline assets and fiber circuits, so that's going to require them to probably increase those capacities at those towers, go from 1 gig fiber circuits to 10 gig. That's expensive. It costs a lot of money. But again, you can justify it by charging more for a premium option, right? Why can't T-Mobile offer a $60 or $70 plan on an upsell, but give the customer a better experience, maybe a better gateway, the home premise equipment, maybe give the consumer faster downlink guarantees, faster uplink guarantees. Again, another gaming type of tier, because we've seen that's been one of the weaknesses of the 5G home internet options is latencies, jitter, and consistency while networks are under stress. So that's kind of where I stand with this. There's a lot to like in fixed wireless access. It has its shortcomings. It has its weaknesses. Again, I don't think T-Mobile home internet is going to raise pricing, but I do think they introduce a more premium tier with some kind of QCI. Of course, the network, the 5G standalone advanced features, network slicing could enable some of those things. More bandwidth coming to market, right? T-Mobile's got some DoD and C-band they got to build out. They can start investing in their mmWave network as Verizon has, and again, the same things can be said for Verizon. There's some options here. There's some things that could happen in the future, but that's my take, right? I know Brandon has talked about data caps, right? And then charging more. I think that's possibly out there as well. I don't know when, right? Maybe that comes at that 2 to 3 time frame for Verizon. But the thing that makes, the fixed wireless an option, a compelling option to replace cable, is the fact that, they don't have data caps. If they introduce them, I think there would be some negative pushback. That one's a little touchy, but I'm going to stick to those talking points today. I hope you guys really enjoyed the content. Of course, if you want to go back and listen to any of the commentary, I've gone ahead and put chapters in there for you guys to check out. And you guys can tell me, comment down below on any of my takes, what you agree or disagree with. How do you think things are going to play out? And love to hear what you guys have to say on this. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation, let your voice be heard.